Hello students, so we shall continue with the same chapter, personality, and in the last class we started with the psychodynamic approach and we came across levels of consciousness, and there are three levels of consciousness: conscious, pre-conscious and unconscious. Okay, and then we came across the structures of personality, that is id, ego and superego. Today we shall deal with the next topic under psychodynamic approach, which was proposed by Freud. Okay, so yes, ego defense mechanism. Okay, ego defense mechanism. Freud developed the concept of ego defense mechanism, considering how the ego copes with the competing, unreasonable and often irrational demands of the id and superego. Okay, so how ego cooperates with the other two, that is id and superego, and how it becomes competing, unreasonable and often irrational demands of it completes. Okay, and it was one of the strategies to delay or attempt to delay the gratification of id and demands of the superego. Defense mechanisms are operated by the ego at the largely unconscious level. Okay, all the defense mechanisms either deny or falsely or distort the reality. So yes, defense mechanism, they are under the unconscious level. Okay, they are largely the ego, operated by ego, which is at the unconscious level. Okay, and it always defines about the it denies. Okay, it denies and falsely or distort the reality. It denies the reality which we have to see. We shall now look briefly at different ego mechanisms. So this is very important. Actually, these ego defense mechanisms are asked for 2 marks about individual defense mechanism, or it might be asked for 10 marks. Okay, so the first one is projection. Attributing to or observing in others one's own thoughts, feelings, impulses and traits are called projection. Okay, so underline this: attributing to or observing in others one's own thoughts, feelings, impulses and traits are called projection. Especially our own faults are projected onto others. For example, an incapable teacher who cannot teach well blames the students for poor performance. This mechanism protects the ego against self-criticism. We hold others responsible for our own unexpectable impulses, thoughts and desires. Okay, so here projection is where when you are not able to take the self criticism. Okay, so when you are not able to perform your duty properly, you blame others. For example, in an organization, when the HR is not able to complete the task, he blames on the employees. Okay, so that is how here they have given example. Okay, so when the teacher is not able to teach properly, she blames, or the teacher blames for the students' poor performance. Okay, so yes, this is about projection, where you project your own feelings, thoughts, drives on others. Okay, and yes, where you project your mistakes on others, that is called projection. So here in a pencil I have written, so you can read that once: to put our own feelings or thoughts to another one. Okay, believing that the feeling one has towards something else are actually held by the other person and directed at oneself. So yeah, especially to put our own, okay, to put our own feelings or thoughts to another one. Rationalization. To preserve good respect and good opinion of friends, many people without conscious intention substitute good reasons for actual reasons, so that the action may appear justified, logical and socially impressive. This is called rationalization. Okay, here the explanation is formulated after the action is over, so it is defining one's own action. For example, a student who has failed in the exam says that it was due to sickness. however it is equal to self deception. Okay, so yes, coming up with a beneficial result of an undesirable outcome. So when you are not able to do, okay, rationalization is where you rationalize yourself. Okay, for example, when you are not able to complete the task given on time, you might give them a reason of being sick, or having fever, or out of station, or you have lost the book. Okay, so you give reason, you rationalize your mistake. Okay, so to preserve good respect and good opinion of friends, many people without conscious intention substitute good reason for actual reason. Okay, so you give reasons for not doing it. Okay, so for example, if you are not able to, if you are not doing your homework, okay, if you have not done your homework, you say that I have left my book at home. Okay, so yes, this is rationalization. Okay, rationalization is of two types: sour grapes attitude. So these two are very important, you have to underline that. Sour grape attitude: if we do not get what we want, we say that it was not good anyway. For example, if the person doesn't get a promotion, he then says it would have been too much responsibility. Okay, so yes, we all do this. Okay, so when we want something and we cannot get it. Okay, so for example, if you want to buy a brand new clothes, okay, and if you're not able to afford for that brand new clothes, you say that color is not nice, that quality is not nice. Okay, so you give reasons. Okay, so sweet lemon attitude, saying what we have is best, or whatever happened has happened is good for us. Okay, is for the good. For example, a student who fractures her leg says that she got more time to sit and study for exam. So here, sweet lemon is where you accept, when you say whatever has happened is good for us, even if it is not good. Okay, so yes, sometimes you fell. Okay, you fell and you're not able to write exams. Okay, and then you says it is good that I fell, because I will get more time to prepare for exams. Okay, so then the third one is sublimation: draining of that thwarted energy into socially approved channels is known as sublimation. Underline this: draining of the thwarted energy into socially approved channels is known as sublimation. Due to social implications, the sexual, maternal, and aggressive impulses are often denied direct expression. Energy associated with such impulses produces tension and maladjustment, so it is channelized in ways that society allows. For example, an unmarried woman may have high maternal urge and give expression of her urge by working in a school or orphanage, or an aggressive person may become a boxer. Thus, sublimation has social value. Challenging one's frustration towards a different goal. So here, whatever is your desire, whatever you want to be, whatever you wanted to have, okay, you make it in a way that it is approved by society. Okay, you make it in a way that it is approved by society. Okay, so for example, an unmarried woman who has a maternal desire, okay, maternal desire, and she can work in school and orphanage. Okay, so that her desire will be fulfilled. And angry person, an aggressive person, can work in a boxer as can become a boxer, where he don't have to keep quiet. Okay, he can show his anger. So that is sublimation. Reaction formation: it is an usual method of controlling undesirable or socially unacceptable urges by denying their existence, and to develop diametrically opposite traits that disguise more basic motives. For example, concealing hatred by love, desire for sexually promiscuity by moralistic sexual attitude and behavior. Okay, so you try to hide your urges. Okay, because it is not accepted by the society, okay, and you try to put it in a different way. Reaction formation as adjustive value in helping to maintain socially approved behavior and avoiding desires which are self devaluating. As this mechanism is not subjected to continuous control, it often results in exaggerated and rigid behavior. If it is beyond certain limits, it complicates the adjustive reaction. So, reaction formation is where you adjust, okay, you adjust and you maintain, help to maintain socially approved behavior. So, you try to be in form with the society, okay, you try to act according to the society and you try to hide your desires, but if you hide your desires too much, it will blast one day, okay. Doing completely opposite, okay, opposite of how one truly feels, okay. For example, you might not feel to be lonely or isolated, but since the society claims or blames to you to be a open minded or a talkative person, you choose to be lonely and alone, okay. So that is not your quality of being lone, alone, silent, but since the society blames, you try to be that, okay. It is just opposite, doing completely opposite. Displacement, transferring of emotional reaction from the original object, person, or situation to an unrelated object, person, or situation is called displacement. Okay, so displacement is where transferring or redirecting one's feeling toward another person. Yes, we all do this. Okay, so when you're angry on certain thing, okay, maybe you are angry of your teacher scolding in your school, and you show that anger after coming to home on your mom or on your sister or on your brother, okay. Or yes, you might be angry that you have your friend insulted you, or your friend didn't include you in the group, okay. Then you show that anger coming back to home on your family, okay. So displacement is where transferring of anger or transferring of one's feelings on some other person, okay. For example, a person may be angry at his boss, but he cannot express it. So he may displace it on his child or pet at home. So can you imagine this? Okay. So the person, he might be angry on the boss. Yes. Okay. So many times we will be angry on some other person and we show that anger on a different person. That is called displacement. Okay. Sometimes the individual turns it inward, engaging in exaggerated self-blame and feel severe guilt and self-devaluation. It can also lead to depression and even suicide. Sometimes when you are not able to show that anger on some other people, you blame yourself. Okay. Self-devaluation. You blame yourself. Self-blame. Okay. And that leads to depression. Okay. Displacement has some adjustive value because it helps to discharge emotional tension without risk of retaliation, but an excess of it can be harmful. Okay. Regression, an adult resorting to childhood mode of behavior or reaction under critical situation is known as regression. For example, a frustrated adult throwing temper tantrums of childhood. A growing up child who is jealous of his younger brother or sister may show thumb sucking, bedwetting, and other infantile behavior to get parental attention. The psychotic patient in extreme regression cannot take care of even his basic needs. Okay. Okay, so here in regression, what happens is going back to earlier. Okay, so you behave like a kid when you are angry. Okay, so you go back to your childhood behavior to react under critical situation. Okay, returning to the earlier happy comforting form of behavior. So for example, when you behave like a child, when you show the behavior of the kid, no one will shout at you. Okay, when you're a kid, no one will shout at you. Okay, so that is an advantage you have, especially when you want to seek attention of parents. Okay, maybe in siblings or in brothers and sisters, when you want to seek attention, you act different. Okay, so you might grasp their attention through your actions. Okay, the last one, repression, forgetting or suppression. Okay, repression is forgetting or suppression. It is a defense mechanism wherein the threatening, painful, and unpleasant thoughts and desires are excluded from consciousness. This happens without the awareness of consciousness. It is also known as selective forgetting. Why it is called as underline this, selective forgetting, because you select certain situations and incidents and events that you want to forget. Okay, repression is where you don't want to remember that particular incident. Yes, we will have many of our incidents, and we don't want to remember that, so we suppress. Okay, so it slowly removes from consciousness. Okay, though the repressed material is not allowed in consciousness, it is not really forgotten. It is only that the person is unable to recall it, pushing thoughts into our unconscious. Okay, repression is an anxiety important self defense mechanism which offers protection from sudden traumatic experiences until he is desensitized to shock. It also helps the individual to control dangerous and unacceptable desires and remove anxiety associated with these desires. Okay, we shall stop here.